Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today, we're diving into the absolute best RPGs on Nintendo Switch. Games that earned perfect scores and deserve every bit of praise they got. These are the RPGs that will consume hundreds of your hours, and you'll love every minute of it. Let's jump right into number 15. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles drops you into the war-torn kingdom of Ivalice, where you follow Ramza Buell, a noble who gets caught up in a massive political conspiracy that goes way deeper than just a simple war between kingdoms. The story deals with class warfare, religious corruption, and betrayal, and it's honestly one of the darkest Final Fantasy stories ever told. The gameplay is all about tactical, grid-based battles, where positioning matters more than anything else. You'll move your units across battlefields with different elevations, and attacking from higher ground or from behind gives you major advantages. Each character can switch between over 20 job classes, like Knight, Black Mage, Thief, or Ninja. And you can mix and match abilities from different classes to create incredibly powerful combinations. Battles require real strategy, because enemies are smart and will gang up on weak units or use the terrain against you. The progression system is deep, letting you build your squad however you want, whether that's a team of heavy armored tanks, speedy assassins, or magic users who rain destruction from afar.
On my honor. A good choice. This will suffice. Feel my wrath!
Embrace inevitable end! Judgment Blade!
Bring sin.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition puts you in the shoes of Shulk, a young guy living on the Bionis, which is literally a giant frozen god. And he's fighting against mechanical enemies called Mechon, who live on another giant god called Mechonis. After a Mechon attack destroys his home and kills someone close to him, Shulk picks up a mysterious sword called the Monado that can cut through Mechon and lets him see glimpses of the future during battle. The combat happens in real time, where you control one character while AI handles your party members, and you'll use special arts that have cooldowns and positioning requirements. Some attacks work better from the side or behind enemies. The future vision mechanic is brilliant because you'll see a party member about to die. Then you have seconds to change that fate by warning them, healing, or breaking the enemy's attack. You'll explore absolutely massive areas filled with quests and secrets, from lush forests to mechanical wastelands, and the sense of scale is incredible. The story goes to places you won't expect, dealing with themes of revenge, destiny, and what it means to forge your own future. And it builds to one of the most satisfying conclusions in RPG history. Fire Emblem Three Houses starts with you as a mercenary, who becomes a professor at a prestigious military academy, where you must choose to lead one of three houses: the Eagles, Lions, or Deer, each representing different nations with their own values and students. The first half of the game is spent teaching your students, building relationships, and preparing them for monthly battles, while the second half jumps forward 5 years into a continent-wide war, where your former students might end up as enemies, depending on which house you chose. The tactical combat plays out on grid-based maps, where permadeath is optional, and you need to consider weapon advantages, terrain effects, and unit positioning to win battles without losing anyone. Each student can be trained in different weapons and magic types, and you can reclass them into various roles, like armored knights, flying Pegasus riders, or mounted cavalry, giving you tons of flexibility in building your army. The monastery between battles lets you explore, fish, cook meals that boost stats, and most importantly, build support conversations with students that unlock new abilities and change how the story plays out.
Is that all?
Unicorn Overlord throws you into a medieval fantasy world where you play as a prince whose kingdom was overthrown, and now you're building an army to take it back by liberating towns and recruiting allies across 5 diverse nations. The story follows your journey to reclaim your throne, while uncovering a deeper conspiracy involving ancient powers and the people who betrayed your family. The gameplay is all about real-time tactical battles, where you organize units into squads of up to 6 characters, set their tactics and formations before battle, then watch them fight automatically, while you command multiple squads across large maps simultaneously. You'll need to think about unit composition, because having a balanced squad with tanks in front, damage dealers in the middle, and healers in back makes a huge difference. Between battles, you'll liberate towns, manage resources, upgrade your army, and recruit over 60 unique characters, each with their own classes, abilities, and backstories. The game gives you freedom in how you approach missions. You can rush objectives, take your time to complete side activities, or focus on building the perfect army composition. And the beautiful 2D artwork makes every battle and character interaction look like a painting come to life.
Trust you.
Go. Strike them.
Give them nothing.
The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim drops you into the frozen northern province of Tamriel right as you're about to be executed. But a dragon attack saves you and reveals that you're Dragonborn, someone who can absorb dragon souls and use their power through shouts, special abilities that let you do things like slow time, push enemies with your voice, or become ethereal. The main story has you learning about your destiny and stopping Alduin, the dragon prophesied to destroy the world. But honestly, the main quest is just a small part of what makes Skyrim incredible. You can completely ignore the dragons and join guilds like the Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood of Assassins, the Magical College of Winterhold, or become a werewolf with the companions. The combat lets you use any combination of weapons, magic, or stealth, and you level up by actually using skills. Swing swords to level one-handed, cast fire spells to level destruction magic, sneak around to level stealth. The world is absolutely packed with dungeons, caves, ruins, and random encounters, and you'll constantly stumble onto quests just by exploring. You can buy houses, get married, adopt kids, become a vampire lord, craft weapons and armor, enchant gear with magical properties, and the Switch version includes all the DLC, giving you hundreds of hours of content in a world that still feels alive over a decade after its original release.
Please don't kill me.
Pokémon Legends Arceus takes you back to ancient Sinnoh, now called the Hisui region, during a time when people feared Pokémon, and the idea of training them peacefully was brand new. You're part of the Galaxy Team's Survey Corps, tasked with creating the region's first Pokédex by studying Pokémon behaviors in the wild. And the story reveals the origins of how humans and Pokémon came to trust each other, while dealing with powerful legendaries causing chaos. The gameplay completely changes the Pokémon formula by letting you catch Pokémon without battling them. You can sneak through tall grass and throw Pokéballs directly at wild Pokémon. Though stronger ones will attack you, and you'll need to battle or stun them first. The battle system uses a turn order based on speed and move styles, where you can use moves in strong style for more damage but slower turns, or agile style for less damage but more frequent turns. You'll complete Pokédex entries by catching multiple of the same species, and completing research tasks like seeing them use specific moves or catching them without being spotted. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance puts you in the shoes of a high school student who gets transported to Dot, a post-apocalyptic version of Tokyo overrun by demons, and you fuse with a powerful being to become a Naho Bino, a forbidden hybrid that both angels and demons want dead. The Vengeance version adds an entirely new story route that runs parallel to the original, giving you different allies, bosses, and an alternate ending that explores different themes about humanity's future. The combat is the hardcore press turn system, where exploiting enemy weaknesses gives you extra actions, but missing attacks or hitting resistances makes you lose turns, creating battles where one mistake can wipe your party. You'll negotiate with demons during battle to convince them to join you, and negotiation success depends on their personality. Some want items, some want life force, and some just want you to answer questions correctly. The demon fusion system lets you combine two demons to create stronger ones, passing down skills you choose, and you can reverse fuse to figure out how to create specific demons you want.
Your turn! Go!
Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door follows Mario as he searches for Princess Peach and the 7 crystal stars, exploring diverse locations like a fighting arena town, a spooky forest filled with crows, and a luxury train where a murder mystery happens. The story is genuinely funny, with great writing and memorable characters like Vivian the Shadow Witch and Bobbery the Old Bomb Sailor. And it's surprisingly dark for a Mario game, with themes about identity, redemption, and sacrifice. The combat is turn-based with action commands, where you time button presses to deal more damage or reduce incoming damage, making even basic attacks engaging because you're actively involved. You'll use Mario's hammer and jump attacks, along with special moves powered by the crystal stars, while your partners have unique abilities, both in combat and exploration. Koops can hit switches from a distance, Madame Flurry can blow away fog, and Yoshi can carry you across gaps. The badge system lets you customize Mario's abilities and stats by equipping badges that do everything from increasing attack power to letting you see enemy HP or counterattacks automatically. Dragon Quest XI's follows you as the Luminary, a young man marked with a special symbol who's prophesied to save the world. But when you reveal yourself to the king, you're branded a traitor, because an ancient hero who bore the same mark supposedly brought destruction centuries ago. You'll travel across the gorgeous world of Erdrea, gathering allies who each have their own reasons for joining you, uncovering the truth about the past Luminary, and facing the dark force that's been manipulating events for generations. The combat is traditional turn-based, where you choose actions for your party, but the pep power system adds strategy by letting characters enter a powered-up state after taking damage, and combining pepped-up party members unleashes devastating team attacks. Each character has unique skill trees, where you spend points to unlock new abilities, passive buffs, or weapon proficiencies, and you can reset and reallocate points anytime to experiment with different builds. The world is packed with side quests, minigames like horse racing and casinos, and a fun crafting system where you manually forge weapons and armor on a minigame board, trying to hit the right spots for extra bonuses.
Get him! Fight and fight some more! Go on!
Octopath Traveler II gives you 8 different characters across the continent of Solistia, each starting in different regions with completely separate stories. There's Oswald, the vengeful scholar framed for murder, Throne, the assassin escaping her guild, Hikari, the warrior prince dethroned by his corrupt brother, and 5 others with equally compelling personal journeys. Each character has unique path actions that change how you interact with the world. Oswald can mug information from people, Throat can steal items, Hikari can challenge anyone to a duel, and these abilities open up multiple solutions to situations. The combat uses the break and boost system, where you discover enemy weaknesses and exploit them to break their defense, leaving them vulnerable, while BP points let you power up attacks for massive damage, creating a strategic rhythm of breaking enemies and unleashing boosted attacks. Each character has a special talent, like Oswald studying enemies to learn their weaknesses permanently, or Casti mixing items to create powerful concoctions during battle, giving every party member unique utility.
Prepare yourself. My blade sings. It's my turn. I'll cut you down.
NieR Automata drops you into a post-apocalyptic Earth where humanity has fled to the moon and sent android soldiers called YoRHa to fight against the machines that drove them away. And you play as 2B, a combat android on a mission to reclaim the planet. The story goes way deeper than just humans versus machines though, exploring what it means to be alive, why we fight, and whether consciousness can emerge from artificial beings. And it does this through multiple playthroughs that each reveal new perspectives and story layers you didn't see before. The combat is pure Platinum Games action, where you combo light and heavy attacks with your pod's ranged fire, dodge at the last second to trigger slow-motion counters, and switch between different weapon types, like swords, spears, and combat bracers, that all have unique movesets. You'll also install plugin chips that modify your abilities and stats, letting you customize your android for more damage, better defense, faster cooldowns, or even auto-combat features if you want a more relaxed experience. The game constantly shifts gameplay styles, throwing in bullet hell segments, hacking minigames, side-scrolling sections, and even a text adventure, keeping you on your toes. Persona 5 Royal puts you in the role of a high school transfer student in Tokyo who gets framed for a crime he didn't commit. And after awakening to a supernatural power, you form the Phantom Thieves with other students to enter the cognitive worlds of corrupt adults and steal their twisted desires, forcing them to confess their crimes. The game splits your time between dungeon crawling through palaces, mental worlds shaped by their owner's distorted view of reality, and living your daily life as a student, where you hang out with friends, study, work part-time jobs, and build relationships that directly power up your abilities in combat. The turn-based combat revolves around exploiting enemy weaknesses with physical attacks and elemental magic from your persona, and hitting a weakness gives you an extra turn, so smart players can chain together attacks to get multiple actions before enemies even move. You can negotiate with enemies to recruit them as new personas, then fuse multiple personas together to create stronger ones. And there are over 200 personas to collect and experiment with, each bringing different skills and resistances. The social link system is the heart of the game, where spending time with confidants unlocks new abilities, like switching party members mid-battle, getting discounts at shops, or gaining experience even when a persona isn't in combat. Royal adds an entire extra semester with new story content, a new party member, expanded areas, and quality of life improvements that make this the definitive way to experience one of the most stylish JRPGs ever made.
Persona. Go down!
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in Ionios, a world where two nations, Kevez and Agnes, are locked in an endless war, and soldiers from both sides only live for 10 years before their life energy is harvested in a ceremony called Homecoming. You control Noah from Kevez and Mio from Agnes, along with their respective teams, who are supposed to be enemies, but after a chance encounter with a mysterious figure, they discover their world is built on lies, and team up to find the truth and break the cycle of endless war. The real-time combat has you control one character while AI handles the others, and you'll use arts, which are special attacks with cooldowns, position yourself for bonus damage from the sides or back, and build up a party gauge to perform chain attacks, where you link together massive combos from all 6 party members. The class system lets any character learn any class, so you can make your healers into tanks or your attackers into support roles, and mixing and matching abilities from different classes creates incredibly diverse build options. The Ouroboros system lets pairs of characters fuse into powerful combined forms with unique abilities and devastating attacks that turn the tide of tough battles.
You're in for it now!
I was waiting for this!
Monster Hunter Rise puts you in the village of Kamura, which is threatened by the Rampage, a catastrophic event where hordes of monsters attack settlements. And as a hunter, it's your job to track down and hunt massive creatures, to protect the village and uncover why the Rampage is happening. The game doesn't really have a traditional story. It's more about the gameplay loop of hunting monsters, carving materials from them, crafting better weapons and armor, then taking on even tougher monsters with your new gear. You'll choose from 14 completely different weapon types, like the fast dual blades, the defensive lance, the technical switch axe, or the ranged bow. And each weapon has its own movesets, combos, and playstyle that takes hours to master. The wire bug is the game changer for Rise, giving you mobility options like zipping through the air, wall running, and each weapon has unique silkbind attacks that use wire bugs for special powerful moves or defensive counters. You can ride palamutes, which are dog companions that let you traverse maps quickly while sharpening your weapon or using items. And you'll bring palicos or palamutes as hunting buddies that support you in combat with heals, buffs, or extra damage.
I'll let you off the hook now. Here comes the pit!
Breath of the Wild throws you into a ruined Hyrule, where Link wakes up after 100 years to find Calamity Ganon has destroyed the kingdom, and Princess Zelda has been holding him back alone for a century. And your job is to explore the massive open world, regain your strength, and finally defeat Ganon. Tears of the Kingdom picks up directly after the first game, with Link and Zelda discovering an ancient evil beneath Hyrule Castle. And when this threat breaks free, Hyrule is thrown into chaos, with floating islands appearing in the sky and dark chasms opening to a massive underground area. Both games revolutionize open-world design by letting you go literally anywhere you can see. If you can climb it or glide to it, you can reach it. And the physics and chemistry systems mean fire spreads naturally, metal conducts electricity, ice freezes water, and you can combine these elements in creative ways to solve puzzles and fight enemies however you want. Breath of the Wild gives you runes like bombs, magnesis to move metal objects, stasis to freeze things in time, and cryonis to create ice pillars, while Tears adds game-changing abilities like Ultra Hand that lets you build vehicles and contraptions from objects, fuse to combine weapons and materials for unique effects, and Ascend to phase through ceilings. The weapon durability system forces you to constantly try new weapons and think creatively rather than relying on one overpowered sword. And the cooking system lets you create meals and elixirs that boost your stats or provide resistances to temperature and elements.
And there you have it, the top 15 perfect 10 out of 10 RPGs on Nintendo Switch. These games represent hundreds of hours of incredible gameplay, unforgettable stories, and experiences you'll be thinking about long after you put down your controller. Which one is your favorite? Are you Team Persona, Team Xenoblade, or Team Zelda? Let me know in the comments, and if there's an RPG you think deserves to be on this list, tell me about it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.